Today I want to talk about legendary mousepads from the country that gave us Evangelion, 80s pop music, GDM tuning and all of these cool vibes with the samurai and ninjas in Japan. Artisan doesn't seem to need any introduction. It's a pretty old company that's been making mousepads since the days when people were arguing about which sensor was better, optical or laser. They used to be very popular with enthusiasts, but in recent years their pads have become the most popular with the general public. They have become the gold standard of the quality in gaming mousepads. It's impossible to review any other mousepads without mentioning Artisan, so I've chosen them for my first English language pad review. In this review we will be looking at the four models: Zero, Hien, Hayate, Otsu and Ryden, which is almost a complete collection of Artisan FX series. The only thing missing is the Hayate core, but it's rather specific pad, not for everyone, because of the big difference in light on X and Y. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to review it in my videos as well. Let's start with the basics. Artisan has quite a large selection of sizes, from very small to XL, but I always choose and highly recommend XL size, which is 49 by 42 centimeters, which is standard to the size of modern big pads. Also, many models offer a choice of base stiffness, mid, soft and extra soft. This can have a big impact on the glide and overall feelings. Briefly, mid is for more speed, less control, soft is about balance, extra soft, more control and less speed. But the general rule is simple: if you don't know what you want, go soft, it's the safest choice. But I will definitely note that if you have a bad habit of pressing the mouse into the pad like a madman, then XSoft is not for you. All pads have excellent stitching, a Japanese porn base. Personally on my IKEA table they hold up very well. And we start with the slowest of the quartet, Zero. This is a classic close pad designed for more control. My copy with a soft base. No, this is definitely not a matte pad, not like GSR. I'd say it's the fastest of the control type pads, especially with mid base. It has a good enough speed for quick swipes, but it's still quite sticky on initial movements. Good stopping power. If you want a little more speed, you can opt for medium base for more versatility. Soft and extra soft, perfect for tactical shooters. It has no coating, barely unaffected by moisture or humidity. It can be washed and the glide will be like out of the box. Quite durable. My old Zero lasted over 2 years and I was even able to sell it. It has only one real problem: it collects all the dust and hair awfully fast. If you're a purist, you will clean it every few days. No matter how clean your room is, it will find all the debris of your room. Personally, I just vacuum it with the Dyson. Speaking generally, it's a good option. It is one of the most popular pads on the Valorant and CSGO Pro scene. Next on the list is Hien, in my case also soft base. The first pad from Artisan that I tried years ago has a razor hard and grainy texture, like a sandpaper, which is one of the most complained about problem. If you have very sensitive skin or you are arm aimer, this will not be a pleasant experience for you because it is quite abrasive. You can get used to it, but be aware. Pad is fast enough, noticeably faster than the Zero. What I particularly like about it is that it's not mind-blowingly fast, but it has decent control and enough stopping power. Low static friction and quite sharp by but controlled dynamic friction. The grainy texture gives feedback when gliding, but also seems to help with quick stops. I get more stable flicks on the Hien. In general, everything about static aiming feels good on the Hien. I also noticed that there is a small difference in glide on X and Y. It is not strongly fed, but it's there. Horizontal movements are a little faster. Hien definitely better for heavy tracking games like Apex because of the very linear glide. Overall, it's one of my favorite artisan pads. I spent the most time with it. Before we continue, I want to thank you for watching. I don't have any affiliate links, I don't make any money from this, so the best reward for me will be a subscription. Thank you, and we'll keep going. But let's move on to the Hien main competitor. It's Hayate Otsu, in my case the XSoft base. This will be a great battle between two Yokozuna. Artisan himself called this pad the better Hien, but I think it's very wrong. There are very similar pads, but they are also very different. Let me explain. First of all, Hayate Otsu solves the problem of the very rough texture of the Hien. It is much more comfortable to touch and doesn't try to peel the skin off your hand. It has no difference in X and Y glide, but overall in terms of speed the difference between these two is very small, and it all depends on the softness of the base and wear condition of these pads. It's very hard to compare these two, but I'll tell you my personal experience. Because the texture is a bit softer, there is also no sandy feeling when gliding, the glide is a little bit smoother, static friction is a little higher than Hien, it is a little more sticky in micro movements, dynamic friction is a little slower too, but Hien feels more crisp and linear. It lacks the sharpness that the Hien has. The XSoft base, in the case of this pad, is hit or miss. It seems like the XSoft base brings some instability. Due to the fact the pad is quite smooth when doing quick swipes or flicks, I really want a little more stopping power, and it's very easy to make a mistake with your mouse pressure and then you either under aim or over aim. And I would recommend soft over XSoft base. There is still a question on Reddit once a week about which of these two pads to choose. I fall into the camp of Hien enjoyers simply because it performed better in my case. I like the predictability and sharp glide. But if you want more comfort and more control, then Otsu would probably better for you. Overall, both of these pads are awesome. Each is slightly better in certain aspects, but either way you won't go wrong if you choose one of them. And let's move on to the most interesting pad, Raiden. In my case, XSoft. This is probably one of the fastest close pads out there. Very fast glide, only glass is faster. Practically zero initial friction, a very linear dynamic friction, and basically no control. No difference in glide between X and Y, very slightly depend on humidity, but extremely hard to notice in real use. For myself, I choose the XSoft base just to have some control. This is the only pad on this list that only has two base options to choose from. It's mid and extra soft. If you want a super fast but still close pad, you can take the mid base. I will note here that the pad is uncoated, a very interesting smooth satin-like material, and therefore should last you a long time. But of course any close pads gets slower over time. I should also make sure to mention that I've heard about the spin-out problems with Ryden before, but personally I have not encountered such a problem with any of my mice. Overall, this is probably my favorite artisan pad. If you like fast pads, you will definitely like it. And I totally forgot to mention the colors. Most of the artisan pads are available in black or red and orange for the Zero, but the Ryden is only available in one color, it's brown. As you can see, in comparison with black charcoal black Atlantis Mini, this is definitely the brown color. I would really like to see Raiden in more interesting color in the future. And of course, a good pad needs a good mouse, so I suggest you to watch my next video. Stay safe, stay tuned, bye.